Good morning, guys. I'm in Luang Prabang and it is so beautiful here. It is also incredibly cold. It's a beautiful city, right, that is up, basically nestled in top of the mountains. Like, to get here, you drive through these crazy mountain passes. And when you arrive here, especially if you spent so long in southern Laos, when you do arrive here, you will freeze. So there's lots of outdoor clothing shops that are here selling loads of overpriced stuff to keep you warm. But this city is super interesting and it's amazingly beautiful. It's got all of these little old French alleyways with all these pretty buildings, right? This entire city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And the whole valley's been occupied, right, for 1,000 years or like over 1,000 years. And then in 1885, the French came and they basically started building all of their French buildings, as they do. And what they've left behind is genuinely beautiful. I'm not a city person. I don't like to hang out and spend too much time in the concrete. But when you walk around this place, it's got quite a like nice feeling to it, because you're not really walking down like main roads. It's not as busy as what's it called, as like Paksay or Taket or anywhere like that. It's just nice, and it's a nice mix of like local life, lots of history, and also obviously there's quite a lot of tourists here as well. So we won't be spending too long, but we will be checking it out. But today we're going to go and see, I can't remember what the name of the waterfall is, but it is one of the most beautiful waterfalls in the world. It was featured in National Geographic not that long ago. I'll find out the name. Promise I'll find out the name. But it was featured in National Geographic. So we should definitely go and check it out. It's about an hour's drive out of town. And then we're going to go up on top of the hill. Just behind me, you can't see it because it is covered by the trees. There is a big, beautiful hill with a big, beautiful temple on top, which is apparently the best sunset spot in the whole city. And between now and then, I'll see if I can walk around the old town streets, because we're in a bit of the old area now with all of these pretty little lanes, but there's a little area on the other side of town that is really beautiful and the buildings are super cool. So we're gonna get some breakfast and we're gonna hit the road and go to this place. This waterfall is called Kuang Si, I believe. That's the one that was featured in National Geographic, so that is the one we're gonna go and check out. It's about an hour's drive. And the place we're staying at is called Why Not Hostel. And it's in this pretty old building, looking down over these spots with a nice bar next door. It never gets too rowdy. It's 60,000 a night, but we managed to talk to the guy and get it down for 40,000 a night, including breakfast, which is pretty good. And breakfast is just eggs and bread or noodle soup. So nice and simple, nice and cheap, nothing to worry about. But yeah, we're gonna jump on the bikes now. We've got to pull them out the driveway. They keep them in here overnight so no one pinches them. They chain them up as well, which is pretty good. But now it's time to hit the road. So we're like 30 k's out of town and we stopped on the side of the road to get a drink. And there's this lady with a little fabric shop and she's making all kinds of funky stuff. She is taking, is this cotton or, I'm not sure what it is. It feels like wool. She's making like these little balls. So you take this stuff. Yeah. Put in there. What is going on right now? There you go. Oh, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Pada banyak mah. Pada banyak mah, banyak mah ber.มีไฟสัตว์แท้
What?
ไฟค่อยเป็นท่องนี่ไฟเป็นในเลยลืม
Oh, she's using that to make thread.
มันมีเงินบักไล่เจ้าเงินมัน
She's turning that shit into thread using this fucking old bus wheel.
ก็ต้อง
That is
บ่มีกับท่องข้าวแน่มาจาก
super
2 ปีแล้วเขาจะเบิ่งเลย
That's some crazy stuff. And then she used this to make this stuff.
ช่วยได้
It's crazy the stuff you learn when you just stop on the side of the road at random things. We just literally stopped for a drink. And then Ellie was like, come, look. And we've come and we looked there and it's quite interesting. It's super cool to see the way, they're making all kinds of different stuff from such like simple equipment. It's literally a bicycle wheel with a little handle on it that she's spinning and making thread. It's pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to hit the road and we're going to drive to, we're going to carry on driving to the waterfall. We're pretty close, but it's going to be good. Just pulled up to the waterfall. Can't actually see it yet, but I can definitely hear some water flowing and that's what it's all about. You've got to pay 2,000 to park your bike, which is not bad because everywhere else they're like 5,000, 10,000, and I'd rather just park my bike on the street and come get it later. But yeah, 2,000 is not bad. This is quite a pretty place. There's little bits of water flowing everywhere. I think we're going to walk up and I think you've got to pay a little bit to get in. But considering what it is and what's been reviewed by, like being National Geographic and stuff, I think as long as it's less than 50,000, it should be all right, because that's 250. So we'll go check it out. Head up to the ticket sales. Hopefully we don't get ripped off. It's 15,000 for local, but 25 for foreigners. So see if I can get away with saying I'm from Laos. It's just Sipha Pan. So unfortunately, I could not get away with saying that I was from Laos, so I had to pay the foreigner price, which is 25,000. But that's still below my budget from our daily activities, so that's pretty good. That's £1.25. And if it's as impressive as everybody says so, then it should be fantastic. You have to get one of these little electric carts to take you up to wherever it goes. So I guess we'll jump in one of those. It's classic, man. Get this little fucking cart up the hill. What? This is great. What? A bit of traffic. Yeah, there's gonna be a bloody crash over there in a second. So we pulled up at the place and there's like a couple of walking trails and different waterfalls on the map. I think we're just gonna head to the main one. We're just walking out now and they've got, oh my God, there is a bear right there. And they've got these big cages, which is pretty messed up, and they've got bears in them. And that's hectic. Check out this. He's like sitting up playing with the tyre. Is it? What? Oh yeah. Oh mate, that one's just lying there. There's three, what? There's one on top of over there, one playing with the tyre over there, and another one sort of taking a nap on top of that platform there. So apparently they're moon bears, and they've built this little park because they're really endangered of being extinct. But the place where they're in is tiny, and they've literally put like electric fence around the trees so they can't climb up the trees, I guess, because they'll climb up and escape. But I think it's obviously it's good that they're doing conservation, but it's pretty crazy how tiny this enclosure is. It's really tiny. I'd love to get in there and hang out with them. I wonder if they're friendly. It's a pretty nice walk through like some pretty indigenous looking forest to go and find this waterfall. But it's not like any other trails I've walked on to find waterfalls, because there's actually a road. I'm actually wearing shoes. I haven't seen a single snake, so I think we're chilling. This place is absolutely beautiful. Oh my God, it is insanely stunning. It's so full of tourists. It's the most busy thing I've been to. But look at this spot. This is ridiculous. Like all the ledges of the waterfall don't even look like they're made of rocks. They look like they're made of clay and mud. And it is absolutely epic, man. I haven't seen anything this pretty in a really long time. It looks like something out of an animation. I feel like I'm in Avatar or something. There's a little sign that's like a little hike to the top, so we're going to try and walk to the top of the waterfall and see if we can't get a fantastic view with way less people around. God, man, look at this shit. It doesn't even look real. It's nuts. Head up this trail, hopefully to the top. It's a little bit of a walk to actually get up here. It's quite steep as well, but we are not at the top yet, and it's definitely worth it. So I got to this little bit of river, and there's stairs over here. Oh my God, the water is freezing. Oh, it's like ice. But the river is coming straight down the stairs. It's pretty crazy. I'm just walking up the stairs, and the stairs are totally underwater. But damn, it's beautiful up here. I feel like it's a massive, massive waterfall. There's so many little ones, and it goes down to the big one. And then it ends up being like this. It's a crazy, beautiful spot. And I'm not getting used to the cold water. It's just freezing, man. I think it's almost time to head back south. I think I'll come back to the north of Laos when it's not so bloody cold. Such an epic spot. Made it all the way to the top. Still can't see a waterfall, but got this cracking viewpoint. Oh man, that is a hell of a viewpoint. It's crazy, man. You get up on top of this hill and it's just like a little jungle stream. It's not pumping, it's not moving fast. It's just quietly trickling along. And guys have started little grows up here. What are they growing? These little farming stuff. I thought that was ganja for a second. It's not. But yeah, it's quite a cool little spot. It's up on top of the hill in the thick jungle. Obviously it's been cleared a little bit for tourists to walk around in, but it's still very pretty. And there are some cracking views. You've got all these little pools at the top with these little fish in them, right? And you put your feet in the water. And this happens. They all come over, they're like, what is this guy? They're not trying to nibble at my feet, they are just like hanging around and checking them out. Super weird. People pay big money for this in the West. I reckon they just come and nick the fish from here. Of course, it wouldn't be a video in Laos if there wasn't just more little bridges everywhere. They dig a good bridge here. And I think that is the top of the edge of the waterfall. It says, do not jump. And there is a big danger sign over there. So I won't be jumping off there. But I will be taking a bit more of a walk through the forest because it is beautiful. But I think I'm going to head back down the mountain a little bit now towards the bottom of the waterfall because there's loads of other little pools and things to check out there. So I'm going to go check it out. If I can find my way back. I left my jersey and my top somewhere. I don't know where, so I need to try and retrace my steps. I don't think these are the steps I took, but I'm glad I did take them now, because that's beautiful. Hey, I actually found my stuff. Now I'm going to walk back down the hill, if I can remember which way I came from. So there's like a little walking trail that's relatively heavily populated by tourists, but it walks down the edge of the river, and it basically gives you information about all of the stuff. And one of the things I was just reading is the water is so blue, like this turquoisey blue, because I think it was calcium, some type of calcium comes off the limestone rocks here that the water flows over. And then they reflect the light from the river, or from the sun even, and it makes the river appear this stunning turquoisey blue, which it really does. So that's just all the calcium in the water. That's pretty beautiful. Everywhere you walk, there's just more and more beautiful little pools. And I really want to have a swim. But I have a feeling it's going to be freezing because it was pretty cold up the hill. And it's not necessarily a hot day. So go and find one of these little swimming holes and see if it's not too cold to jump in. So we found this beautiful pool to swim at. And there are people swimming. Tim's going to go for a swim, but for me, I think it's going to be too cold. It is truly cold. It's not necessarily a hot day either, so just going to chill. Yeah, it's cold today, and that water's even colder. So have fun, dude. Awesome swim spot. If the water wasn't like 5 degrees, I'd be in. So I've been walking down this trail for a little bit now. Beautiful spots to swim and chill and eat if you brought food, which we did not. So now it's gonna go grab some food because all I can think about is eating. Get some food and then we'll probably head back to town and go check out a little bit of the old town, hopefully. We just stopped back at the bear enclosure because there's another spot to come and see them from, and this is definitely a better view than we had before. And these bears are beautiful. They're so tiny though. They're just like big dogs. Yeah, there's loads of them sleeping over there. There's a big guy. They got like a little house here that one of them just went into. It's super beautiful, and it's 200 kilos. Jeez. So obviously, it's quite sad that they have to be kept in here because obviously the forest is getting destroyed, so they don't really have any choice except for to do this to protect them. But it is pretty cool that they're doing it. And it's pretty cool that you can come and see them as well. So come and check out the bears. Whoa. We just made it back into town. I'm going to take a walk down into the older part of town now, where there is even more old, beautiful buildings. Because around here is pretty cool. We're back by the hostel. Here's pretty cool, but there is really where it's nice and pretty. So I'm in like the old part of town right now, and this is where like it starts to get real pretty. Check the buildings. These are all old buildings. I don't know exactly when they were built, but I know the French only arrived in 1885. And if they arrived so late, then these buildings can't be really more than like, what, 130 years old? But I reckon some of them are a little bit newer than that. But this is where like a lot of the shops and restaurants and tourists, and there's a couple backpackers and stuff around here, but it gets really, really pretty. All the old buildings that have been pretty much untouched. Like you can't knock them down and rebuild stuff. Try not to get run over. But when you walk down this old street, you could be in early 20th century France, you reckon? So if you get off the main road, which I've just figured out and have now done, the beautiful old buildings continue. There's no traffic, no businesses, and hardly any tourists. But these are really pretty, and I can actually show it to you now without getting run over. Could be in a little village somewhere in France 100 years ago. And right down at the bottom is the Mekong River. So crazy how many different cities and how many different ways of life and cultures and languages there are all along the Mekong. It's like, I don't know how long it is, but it must be a couple thousand Ks. And there is Vietnamese and Khmer and and Lao, and people speaking Katu and like other small languages in between. And we've been to so many cities along the Mekong. And I feel like the further north you go on the Mekong, the more beautiful it gets. In Vietnam, I would not swim in the Mekong. In Cambodia, I have, but I probably wouldn't do it again. But in Laos, in Don Dae, I was swimming in the Mekong. It was brilliant. And Lucy is supposed to be coming back from Nong Kiao today, this evening. She was supposed to come back yesterday, but apparently there's a dam up in that river somewhere, and they closed the dam and there wasn't enough water, so they couldn't come home. And then this morning, they woke up and there was even less water in the river. So now they've had to get on a tractor. With Lucy and her mum and Sky, they had to get a tractor all the way back to Nong Kiao, and then they're going to have to try and get on a local bus. So they reckon they're going to get here tonight, but they might end up only getting here tomorrow, so we'll see. So it's about that time of day, and I'm about to go up onto the hill. I sprung and bought myself a new shirt. I only had like 3 items of clothing. I had like 2 shirts, a hoodie and a pair of shorts. Okay, so 4 items of clothing. And I bought myself an extra shirt because it was only a couple of quid, and felt like I needed one. But yeah, we're gonna walk up on top of the hill now. This is supposed to be the best, oh, nearly fell off that. This is supposed to be the best sunset spot in the city, so let's see if it lives up. So on the map, we found a little bit and it says free entrance to the top of the hill. Otherwise, I think it costs 10,000 kip. So we're just gonna gander on through the little alleyways here and around the back of the temple and see if we can't get in for free. So it does kind of look like we got up here for free. We just sort of walked through these little alleyways between people's houses, and we've ended up on top of the hill in a little bit of a foresty area. And we're gonna see if we can get our way out to see the sunset. It's pretty late. We might have actually missed the sunset, but I reckon the view will still be good. So let's get up there. Even if we do miss the sunset, the view from up on this mountain is pretty spectacular. We just need a bigger clearing in the forest so we can actually see it. That would be great. And it's a little bit late. I honestly think we might have missed the sunset. But if we did, it's all right, because look how pretty this place is. It's like a big giant gold Buddha over there. He looks like a proper G. I think we actually made it to the top. This is beautiful from up here. Can't actually see the sunset, but I reckon it should be somewhere up here. I'm so out of breath, it's not even funny. You good, bro? Yeah. Oh, bro, I'm toast right now. My fitness level is way down. All right, let's get to the top. So I actually have made it to the top. Yeah, it's quite pretty. All this kind of stuff is inside, but what we came here to see is out there. Probably the best sunset spot in the whole city. The colours in the sky today are unreal. They're so beautiful, just like pastel colours, it's amazing. It is really busy up here, there's loads of tourists. See behind me, loads of tourists. So I'm just gonna sit here quietly by myself and watch these pretty colours unfold. And then I'm gonna have some food and wait for Lucy to pull up. But yeah, get a load of this. And the swallows just flying around, enjoying the evening. They've always got so much to say at this time of night. I seem to have lost my buddy on the way up the hill. It was a pretty bloody steep climb and he seems to have disappeared. But yeah, I'll find him again. But I think for now, this is probably gonna be it for tonight. It's been a really, really groovy day. And I think there's gonna be some cool stuff in the next few days. I'm super excited for it. But yeah, have a groovy one, guys. Catch you later.